สบายดีสวัสดี just finished my lunch ปลากระเป๋าguy no not guy หมูไข่ดาว yeah this lovely little restaurant cafe oh yeah oh yeah oh yeah oh yeah oh yeah baby it's just on the main road as you going into Paksay coming in from Thailand way. It's only the one road, you can't basically can't go wrong. It's about 2 kilometres, 3 kilometres from Paksay, I think, the city itself. Before the bridge, anyway. If you've gone over the bridge, you've gone too far. Anyway, that's not the point of this video. This place is fine. No false advertising here. I'm struggling to find what I'm looking for here in Laos, and I've searched, and it just doesn't seem to be a thing here. At least not yet. Maybe it will come, I'm sure. The world that I understand it was supposed to be edging more and more towards eco-living and eco-friendly tourism and, you know, all that carbon neutral kind of carry on, yeah. Well, Thailand is kind of edging towards it. Places like Africa and like that have been going towards it for 10, 20 years, 30 years, and you know, South America have been doing the same sort of thing. But I think as a concept, unless it's somewhere like out in the jungle of Chiang Mai or Chiang Rai or somewhere like that, ecotourism just doesn't seem to be a thing in Laos. You cross the border here with Chom Mek, is it, border? The other side is Ubon Ratchathani province, and you can find like eco camping, you know. But the point here in Laos is, even when they do advertise on Google Maps as a camping site, 9 times out of 10 they don't exist. Someone's just created a Google Map location, and they don't even exist, and they probably never have done because there's never any photos or anything. And like 2 days ago, I went to one that was on Google Maps, got around there, looked and looked. There's no activity, there's nothing there at all. It actually said chicken camping or something. So and there was people around that area that were breeding chickens and growing chickens, like a chicken farm, chicken camping farm or something like that. And then there was a restaurant. As I drove back the way I just came to look for that place, it was a dead end, you couldn't go any further. So backtracking, and I saw a sign saying coffee shop and camping. So I thought, oh, brilliant, right next to the Mekong River, brilliant views of the sunset, fantastic. Go down it and it's just a restaurant and a coffee shop and, you know, somewhere to go drink and chill. No, and again, there never was any camping. There's no space, there's no ground. The camping was false advertising. Why on earth? And then my friend also, when I was telling him, you know, my Laotian friend from Paksay, I was telling him, he messaged me, I'm at this camping place, alright, I can't remember exactly what the name was now, it will come to me what he was calling the place, but anyway, yeah, so I asked him to send me the location, and I opened the location, and again, it's nothing to do with camping. It's like a little chill out restaurant bar like place, but again, they put camping in the name because they got like almost like a teepee kind of tent set up sort of thing, but they're not really tents because it's just, you know, shade, you know, so it's like an outdoor restaurant chill place kind of thing. And I think, again, it's not camping. It's a restaurant. I'm not going to come there and set up my tent inside a restaurant, you know. So I'm going to the one place I think I'm going to be absolutely fine with me asking them if I can put the tent up, and there'll be no problem at all. Yeah. I mean, you know, it's going to be risque in as much as, you know, having passports and laptop bags and things like that. So I just have to keep that stuff with me. Camping equipment and fishing equipment, I'm not really that worried about, but obviously the valuable stuff, the important stuff, because it's obviously not a resort. It is literally just, you know, people taking the money for the tickets, and they live there, but they live there like camp style. So I'm sure me pitching up my tent, not going to be a problem for them. In fact, that's just reminded me before I do head off, because I've got to go through Paksay City on my way there first, across the bridge like I was just mentioning. Once I cross the bridge, there's a Home Depot kind of store. I'll get some more gas for my camping stove. Because there's no restaurant there, you can't expect the people to cook you a meal out of their own food. So yeah, and some water as well. So that's, yeah, two things I need to get: some water, so I can have a coffee in the morning on the old camp stove, 3-in-1 coffee. And there's a coffee plantation right near there too. So why I'm see, that'd be another place you could do camping. You know, eco tourism. Have the walk around and learn about the how they produce coffee here. You know, and an eco-friendly holiday, like just for like 1 or 2 nights, because that's where all the waterfalls are as well. But the tourists generally base themselves in the city and hire motorbikes. It'd be better if there was a minibus service picking people up, taking them to a eco-friendly resort out in Pak Song, away from the town, and doing their own eco-friendly like camping. Have like a set menu, you know, like a barbecue menu for them. Just small groups, you know, like 10, 15, 20 people, you know, at a time. Provide food and drink, including in the stay. Charge them like $50 each, something like that. So yeah, you wouldn't be making big bucks from it, but you know. Anyway, just an idea. I've got my own ideas. I'm just throwing that out there to Laos, that ecotourism is something they want to kind of grasp hold of. I'm not saying camping as such, in as much as I am, in the traditional sense, with you know, your own tent and sleeping bag and things like that, because that's kind of like the cheapest form of holiday that there is, isn't there? You know, the person's bringing their own equipment. I'm talking about having, you know, permanent fixed tents, you know, like these canvas ones. Also, you want to protect them, put a covering over the top of them as well. But anyway, yeah, they've got them in. See, if anyone wants to learn about it, all they, you know, Laotian people, they want to learn about it. Literally, all they have to do is cross the border and drive an hour from here, and on the other side, there's eco pods. Tents, you know, like I was saying, these glamping tents, camping sites, so you know you can actually camp. You bring your own tent, and I've met people doing it. You know, when I've done it, you know, Thai people bringing their own tent, staying a few nights, you know, going to visit family, friends, or temple or whatever, and then going on to another place and doing the same again. But Laos doesn't seem to. I'm sure they have. What's it called, like national forests and places like that too. In Thailand, they're another place that obviously they have a lot of the camping as well. So yeah, why it's not a thing, and like I say, start the video by saying it's false advertising, because a lot of them that are using it on their Google Maps just don't exist. They are not what they say they are. So it is false advertising for the few that are on there. That they're not on there, and there's no wonder, because if they're not put the effort in to put shower blocks in and toilets and you know, somewhere for people to go shower and maybe wash some clothes or something, and see, I pinned it on my phone, and I found a perfect location between Paksay and Savannakhet. Lovely views near a river or reservoir, or at least a reservoir or pond or lake or something. Good flat ground, good elevation, you know, so you don't have to put the camping site like near the river in case it gets flooded. You could do the camping site and it kind of led down to the river, but a nice big flat field. Oh yeah, I pinned it on my location. If I'm ever back that way, that's exactly where I will camp. So you know, there is really good locations for to do, you know, to do camping, do the eco tourism. You know, you could do bamboo huts for God's sake. You know, like they do on Dondet, or have done on Dondet. I think they're kind of looking a bit worse for wear and a bit decrepit now. So just making sure it's still recording. Yeah, so they are a lot of the bamboo bungalows, as they're called, are a little bit ropey. But it's like anything when it comes to accommodation. You don't keep on top of the maintenance, which in Asia doesn't seem to be a massive concern to them. It really doesn't seem to bother them. They'll make a new guest house, hotel, resort, or whatever, and they won't have a maintenance plan for redecoration and you know, painting each room at least once every year just to keep them looking fresh. They build these places and they don't go through them again with a paintbrush. I think a lot of them never have seen a paintbrush again, and until obviously they end up closing, because the customers over the years, less and less and less and less start coming, until a new place opens. Their place looks really tatty and horrible, because now the new place is brand spanking new and fresh, so that even less and less people start going, and then end up, you know, closing the doors and doing nothing at all then, because they have drips and drabs of customers that doesn't warrant, they're not making enough then at that point. Rather than having a schedule, like each room gets painted at least once a year, or once every 2 years, or once every 3 years. Every room gets redecorated and made to look nice and new again, you know. They don't do that. They just build it and let it slowly decay. It's the same with these bamboo, you know, bungalows. You know, I'm sure it's pretty difficult to repair them once you built them, but I'm sure there's still things you can do to keep them looking good and lasting longer. But anyway, I'm not in that trade. I don't claim to be an expert. It's just my knowing how ecotourism is the way that the world is going more and more and more and more towards. And places like Thailand or Southeast Asia, really, well, anywhere, when I think about it, anywhere that involves long haul flights. Basically, the price of flights is going up and up and up and up and up. So basically, tourism from further afield, like the Farang tourists, the Westerners, the Europeans, the Americans, come into places like you know, Asia, it's going to go less and less and less, because the flight prices are going up and up and up. So, you know, it's going to be more of their own people. And the way that I understand the world's going more towards a ecologically combined living with your carbon footprint. Ecotourism's the way that the world is going towards, or at least that's how my mind has been conditioned to think, with obviously the world that we live in, with the environment being like number one key thing, isn't it? So yeah, ecotourism needs to step it up a little bit in Asia, or in Laos anyway. Like I say, they have it in Thailand, probably got it in Vietnam and other places, and they will have like tree houses and things like that, I'm sure, and like some eco places to stay. Like I say, Dondet, you know, the bamboo bungalows, they're like kind of carbon neutral in that respect, you know. So that's ideal. But like I say, they built a lot of the bamboo places on Dondet Island were probably built 10, you know, 5, 10, 15 years ago, and they've just decayed over those years, and they're looking tatty. So it's no wonder they're cheap. If they got them looking nice, they could put the prices back up, you know. But yeah. I've got my camping equipment. I spent a small fortune, and the fishing equipment. I spent a small fortune on. Okay, I have used some of the camping equipment. I haven't used a single bit of the fishing equipment at all. So I'm damned if I'm leaving Laos without